And I'm not saying allegedly.
Oh. Okay.
I'm saying, Sean Carter, you're a piece of shit. Taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough. You just want to go down there and you want to just remove all of the balls from every real gangster in Houston.
For years, Jay-Z has stood like a fortress at the center of hip-hop royalty. Untouchable, unbothered, and, to many, unimpeachable. But now the walls are shaking. Because 50 Cent isn't just poking the bear anymore. He's dousing the whole forest in gasoline and lighting the match. What started as petty jabs and cryptic memes has escalated into a full-on expose, a public unraveling of one of the most powerful empires in the entertainment industry. And this time, it's personal. It's not just about old feuds or lyrical sparring. It's about power, control, and the chilling secrets buried under platinum plaques and billion-dollar deals.
Don't trust nobody. In Hollywood, specifically, when you get there, a lot of people don't know how to say no. That's the difference between New York City and California.
According to industry whispers, and trust us, they're getting louder by the hour, Jay-Z's picture-perfect image may be just that, a performance. Behind the smiles and the Ivy League donations, 50 Cent alleges there's something far darker going on. And he's not pulling punches. After trolling Jay-Z's red carpet appearance with Beyoncé and Blue Ivy like a cat playing with its food, 50 dropped a jaw-cracking blow, hinting at one of the most disturbing allegations to hit the culture in recent memory. Jay-Z's name now sits uncomfortably in an amended lawsuit involving an alleged assault at an MTV after-party back in 2000. An incident 50 Cent has wasted no time weaving into his public vendetta.
This morning, rap mogul Jay-Z is denying allegations he assaulted a 13-year-old girl alongside rapper Sean Diddy Combs. That civil lawsuit filed against Combs in October was amended Sunday to include Jay-Z. The accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, says she was assaulted by both men.
The timing couldn't be more volatile. Jay-Z, who just months ago was front and center of the Super Bowl halftime negotiations, now finds himself defending against a cloud of accusations that could shift the axis of the entire entertainment world. 50 Cent is making sure no one forgets. In a since-deleted post that sent social media into meltdown mode, he wrote, "Jay said they said I rapped a kid. Everybody get dressed. We going to see Mufasa, LOL." Crude? Definitely, but the message landed like a hammer. The man who helped shape hip-hop's corporate evolution is being accused of the unthinkable. And 50 is dragging it all into the daylight. But the real bombshell isn't the meme. It's the whispers about a so-called blackmail fund. Yes, you heard that right. Sources close to former Roc Nation insiders allege that Jay-Z has maintained a covert financial mechanism funneled through shell companies and off-the-books operations, meant to silence people. The people? Former staff, industry contractors, maybe even alleged victims. Anyone who came too close to exposing uncomfortable truths. According to one former road manager who worked under Roc for nearly a decade, there was a war chest that no one talked about, but everyone feared. If your story got out, they claim someone, somewhere would make you rethink that real fast. And when you follow the money trail, which winds through Delaware LLCs and shadowy consultants, you start to wonder just how many headlines never saw the light of day.
If that's part of the indictment, that's somewhat like a blackmail. He was blackmailing people to be in the freak-offs. So that's federal. That could be that's a federal charge. He can't blackmail people to say, yo, listen here, you did it once and you're gonna do it again. That ain't gonna make it with the government or nobody.
It gets worse. Attorneys for one of the accusers recently claimed in court that after filing their initial suit, they were targeted with a campaign of harassment and legal pressure. One lawyer even pointed directly at Jay-Z's legal team, accusing them of filing counter-litigation under fake names to hide their own tracks. That's not the behavior of someone simply protecting their name. That's the kind of move you make when the stakes aren't just financial, they're existential. Now, while Jay-Z continues to deny the claims, calling them idiotic, even extortionate, the optics aren't doing him any favors, especially not when 50 Cent, with all the subtlety of a wrecking ball, keeps stoking the flames. From mocking the halftime show's future to posting AI-generated videos of Jay-Z and Diddy being dragged away in cuffs, 50 isn't just clowning around. He's making a point. The game has changed, the code of silence is cracking, and the elite circle that once protected its own, it's turning on itself.
But after that major documentary comes out on Diddy, then you're going to start to hear more and more about Jay-Z and his nefarious past.
But here's where things shift from cold scandal to raw betrayal. Because while Jay-Z fights a public relations war on one front, there's speculation about a brewing betrayal behind the closed doors of his own home. Enter Beyoncé, the queen of the hive, the mastermind of image control, and perhaps, if insider chatter holds any weight, the one playing the longest game of them all. Multiple sources within her circle, including 2 former tour staffers and a retired PR executive, claim Beyoncé has had an exit strategy in place for years. Not because of rumors, not even because of infidelity, but because she saw this coming. Not the scandal specifically, but the pattern, the danger. The man.
What I've heard about them as a couple is that they've been living separate lives for a very long time.
Allegedly, she's consulted some of the top crisis specialists in LA and New York, building what one source described as a perfectly timed detachment protocol. What does that mean? Think airtight NDAS, compartmentalized finances, legal filings drafted but not delivered yet. She's been working on preserving the brand, not the marriage. Because when it all hits the fan, it's not just about protecting herself, it's about shielding the legacy. Blue Ivy, the twins, the billion-dollar businesses tied to her name, her face, her clean hands. Even that red carpet appearance at the Mufasa premiere, to many it looked like a show of unity. But if you ask someone close to Beyoncé's team, they'll tell you it was a controlled demonstration of control. One source said, that wasn't support, that was choreography. The real power play is happening behind the scenes. And it's telling that Beyoncé, usually mute in legal chaos, is reportedly the one who pushed to face the accusations head on. Damage control, yes, but also strategic distancing. A move to start separating Queen Bee from the toxic orbit of Sean Carter.
And I have to still say allegedly, has done things and allegedly participated in a lot of things that the public would not be happy to know.
Still think this is just 50 Cent being petty? Then ask yourself why so many people in the industry are suddenly silent, why deals are stalling, why collaborators are quietly backing away. One prominent director who was set to work on a streaming project with Roc Nation recently pulled out without public explanation. Another artist who performed with Jay just last year hasn't been seen with him since December. The energy has shifted, and those once eager to bask in his influence now seem afraid to even post a throwback photo. Because 50 isn't just making noise, he's making waves. He's exposing not only Jay-Z, but the whole machinery that kept this kind of scandal buried for decades.
This guy,
50's not to be
no, don't
50's not to be
Fifth. Y'all don't even, Fifth is
play around
different.
if you want to.
Fifth is different.
And while all this is happening, 50 Cent is doubling down. From teasing a documentary on Diddy's empire of misconduct to leveraging AI memes and his massive fan base, he's weaponizing the internet like a blunt force truth serum. The message? No one's off limits. No amount of power or legacy or Grammy plaques will protect you from what's coming. Not anymore. But let's go back to that blackmail fund. Because the deeper you dig, the more questions bubble up. How many careers were quietly torpedoed because someone got too close to the wrong truth? How many artists walked away from Roc Nation deals not because they got better offers, but because they were warned off? There are rumors, strong ones, about at least 3 well-known artists whose sudden exits from the label weren't just business disagreements. One was allegedly threatened with legal action over leaked texts. Another disappeared from the charts entirely after refusing to sign a last-minute NDA. And the third, according to a former A&R exec, they got paid to keep their mouths shut, plain and simple.
I want you to think about this. Allegedly, Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane, to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce.
Of course, none of this is confirmed. The paper trail is muddy, deliberately so. But in an industry that thrives on silence, the sudden noise feels like a siren. And with 50 Cent acting as its conductor, it's no longer possible to ignore the rhythm. Something is unraveling, something big, something dangerous. And the longer Jay-Z tries to play it cool, the more it feels like he's just rearranging furniture on the Titanic. Because the iceberg, it's already been hit.
This is what I look for. When I see a success, I'm looking for anything
to say that they didn't do it on their own?
Detain it, not the...
What if Jay-Z's rise wasn't just about lyrics, charisma, or strategic investments, but about calculated domination? That's the question now hanging over everything, as insiders start peeling back the layers of Roc Nation's carefully curated public image. We're not talking about the usual music industry power plays. We're talking about systemic manipulation, artists being frozen out, managers threatened, and entire careers snuffed before they could get traction. Not because they lacked talent, but because they stepped out of line. Because they challenged a hierarchy where Sean Carter sat alone at the top. Industry veterans, 3 of them now speaking off the record, allege that Roc Nation operates more like a private intelligence agency than a label. We're talking loyalty tests, internal surveillance, and whispered warnings to other executives about problematic talent. One former A&R director described it as a machine that runs on silence and control. Step out of sync with Jay's vision, and you're not just off the tour, you're off the radar. And once you're erased from Roc Nation's good graces, good luck booking shows, scoring features, or even getting your name into playlists curated by Jay's circle. The control isn't just contractual, it's cultural.
I don't have no felonies. I'm not crazy or none of that. It's like, I just want the truth, and it's so hard to get it from the courts. And it seems like Jay-Z don't want to say anything. So, I don't want to see him go down for something that, you could have just got taken care of. That's it.
Take the case of an up-and-coming singer who was reportedly in talks with Roc Nation back in 2019. According to two separate sources close to the negotiations, she walked away after refusing to sign a restrictive NDA. Within weeks, her press dried up, brand deals vanished, even playlist placements disappeared. It was like someone flipped a switch, a former publicist on her team recalls. She went from the next big thing to an invisible artist, and no one would say why. That kind of vanishing act doesn't happen by accident in a business built on exposure. Another artist, known for his sharp pen and social commentary, allegedly fell into the blacklist after making offhand remarks about Jay-Z's connection to corporate media control. Within months, his scheduled performance at a major festival, sponsored by one of Roc's media partners, was pulled. He's never publicly linked his disappearance to Jay, but in private conversations, he's reportedly told peers, "You know who runs the gates, I spoke too loud too soon." And that's the unspoken rule across the industry. Criticize Jay-Z, even indirectly, and watch the doors close.
They once worked together a long time ago. They're not friends now. They don't like each other. And yeah, 50 has taken every shot, especially when Diddy has been down.
Meanwhile, 50 Cent is turning these whispers into headlines. His campaign isn't just about mocking red carpet moments or throwing shade on social media anymore. It's strategic. He's pulling at the threads of Roc Nation's influence, questioning how far it stretches and how many artists have paid the price for not playing along. His upcoming documentary about Diddy is already making waves, and some insiders speculate that Jay-Z's name will come up there too, possibly in connection to allegations of protecting mutual interests or helping contain bad press through backdoor favors. But there's another angle here, and it's personal. Because while Jay fights for his reputation, Beyonce's position has grown increasingly complicated. On paper, she's still the picture of loyalty, glamorous appearances, curated Instagram posts, subtle but present solidarity. But off camera, the narrative is shifting. Multiple sources suggest that behind the flawless exterior, Bey is calculating every move.
What's up, what's up? This is Beyonce on the red carpet with one of the hottest female artists out here, Miss Aaliyah. How you doing, girl?
It's so good to see you.
It's clear that Beyonce is no stranger to pressure. She's weathered scandals before, and she's done it with the precision of a Fortune 500 strategist. But this allegations of this magnitude hits differently, especially now that Blue Ivy is old enough to read headlines, hear rumors, and ask hard questions. Sources familiar with the Carters' inner circle claim that they've brought in a crisis team, specializing in family-focused media ops, not just to protect Jay's image, but to preserve Beyonce's future as a solo icon and brand mogul. And let's talk about branding. Because Beyonce doesn't just perform, she sells everything from couture to consciousness. Her image is rooted in empowerment, integrity, and maternal strength. Any whiff of complicity, of standing by while darker allegations swirl around her husband, could rupture her carefully constructed legacy. That's why some insiders believe the clock is ticking. Not toward a dramatic split, necessarily, but toward a phased distancing. Think separate branding. Think parallel launches. Think the public softening of Bey-Z into two distinct titans, no longer joined at the hip.
In a blistering statement, Jay-Z accuses Jane Doe's attorney of trying to blackmail him. He said further, quote, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away."
There's also talk that Beyonce's legal team has reviewed all current allegations and lawsuits, not just for liability exposure, but for timing. One entertainment lawyer familiar with these kinds of crisis strategies explained, "You want to be ahead of the story, not dragged into it. That means knowing when to show unity and when to pivot." If true, that could explain why Beyonce, usually quiet during legal chaos, was reportedly the one urging Jay-Z to face things head on. It wasn't about standing by her man, it was about taking control of the narrative before it spiraled. Even their public outings have started to feel more like chess moves than date nights. That Mufasa premiere walk where Jay-Z appeared with his family in full glamour mode, right as allegations broke, sparked as many questions as it answered. Was it defiance? Was it denial? Or was it distraction? And when 50 Cent pounced with that viral post mocking Jay's decision to show up in public amid the scandal, the internet lit up. Not just because it was savage, but because it tapped into a deeper unease. Everyone could feel it. Something's off.
Weirdo. I don't give no what you got in your head, that neural link. You'll never outthink me. over.
All of this paints a picture of a dynasty under siege, from the outside by relentless critics like 50 Cent, and from the inside by the weight of secrets, reputations, and the very machine that built them. The lawsuits keep piling up, the whispers keep getting louder, and Roc Nation's carefully groomed empire looks a little shakier every week. One former marketing executive said it best: Jay built this brand on invincibility. But if even one of these dominoes falls, the illusion shatters. And illusions are what keep the money flowing. So where does that leave us now? With a mogul under fire, a queen playing chess behind the curtain, and a former rival turned watchdog promising that we've only seen the beginning. 50 Cent has already teased more drops, more posts, more revelations. And given what's come out so far, we have to ask, what else is hiding beneath the surface? Could there be another tape, another lawsuit, another betrayal waiting to blow everything wide open? As more allegations pile up and 50 Cent continues his crusade, the walls around Jay-Z's empire are beginning to crumble. But the question remains, what more is out there? Is 50 sitting on another bombshell? Could the next revelation finally bring down the House of Carter? Drop your thoughts below, speculate with us, and hit that subscribe, because we have a feeling the next chapter will change everything. Until then, stay sharp, stay curious, and don't blink.